Good evening. This is Major Pactu speaking, and I have more Artifact Cup 18 games. This one is going to be between AGameAnx and TheOblivinator. Game 1 is on Shallows. Gonna load right into this. For those of you who've been following Deserts of Kharak, you definitely know who AGameAnx is. Currently, and for a while, he has been sort of the undisputed #1 player on our ladder. He's won, I want to say, at least a dozen of the Artifact Cups. And this is the 18th Artifact Cup, so you can kind of do the math on how many he's won. And he will be playing TheOblivinator. We're going to be watching this game from A-Game's perspective. And TheOblivinator is a player who I've seen a whole lot, and he is our probably #1 single-player speedrunner. So he's a little less experienced on the multiplayer front, but he did play in the Artifact Cup here, and I'm definitely excited to see what he brings to the table. It's going to be really interesting if I see some like speedrunning tactics here. I'm not sure how I would identify those, but that would be really neat. And so I'm going to definitely be paying a lot of attention to him, also paying attention to what A-Game does, but I've sort of seen him a lot, so I'm a little less interested in that, even though his play is masterful. So just right off the bat, both players opening up with CUs, with all 4 of their collectors, and then adding some additional collectors. It looks like A-Game adding 2 more collectors here on RUs pretty quickly, and TheOblivinator, it looks like, also adding 2 on RUs, and both players expanding early to their next resource point with some additional salvagers. Neither player retiring their base runner, and both players playing as coalition. So far, kind of a mirror match. The biggest difference we have out right now is like this probe, and these salvagers got here a little faster. So, you know, Oblivinator's got a little better scouting, A-Game's got a little better economy. And A-Game has this base runner up here on the artifact. So, not a whole lot going on here. Shallows, definitely more of a... I shouldn't say more of a macro map, I should say there's the opportunity for Shallows to be a macro-heavy, economy-heavy, resource-heavy map. Because of the positions of these resource points. That said, rushing certainly works on this map. It just looks like neither player has opted to do that quite yet. A-Game popping out a support cruiser, so pretty typical stuff. Oblivinator sort of remote mining off of these 2 points to try and, I guess, be a little closer to both. Not exactly sure what the plan is there. But also pumping out a support cruiser, and it looks like A-Game is going for a pretty early fighter and gunship fab, so this is interesting. He hasn't gone for AAVs or railguns yet. He's dumped those early RUs into fighter tech. Unfortunately, we can't see Oblivinator's tech, and I don't remember how to read the structures. There's like these structures back here or something that pop up when you get certain tech, and I don't remember exactly what that marker is. A-Game grabbing an artifact. And it's going to be pretty unopposed right now. It's going to be seen. These other units will be seen by this probe. And he's going to go out and grab his own. But pretty quiet opening so far. Only real combat units out in the field are just a couple of LAVs from A-Game.
Enemy support vehicle authenticated. Move order confirmed. Hostile turret sighted.
That LAV is going to take that down with its guns. And there's a turret here. And Shallows is an interesting map for turrets because there's a lot of spots, especially around this artifact right here, that look like a great turret spot that aren't. But it looks like this is a pretty good position. It's on fairly flat ground, not going to be obstructed a whole lot. So I think that's a decent turret. And if A-Game isn't careful, he may run into that and lose a few units to it. So
on our way. Hold position.
Very quiet game so far. Just a couple of fighters here coming out from A-Game, which I'm sure will be a surprise. And no military units other than, it looks like 1 LAV coming out here for Oblivinator.
Artifact recovered. Authentication confirmed.
Coordinates verified.
Strike fighter online.
A little bit of harass on this base runner, not enough to really do much
stand by.
damage.
On our way.
And I kind of feel like just sitting here in this opening view for a little while until something happens. I might just not move the camera until we see some action. This is like 2 LAVs here. The health bar is not really doing much. He's just sitting them still. I can kind of imagine, you know, if we just take a look at this, they're just sitting there, creeping up with the base runner, trying to get that high ground.
Hold and stand.
Strike fighter online.
Enemy contacts on the board. Make ready.
But this is becoming a lot of strike fighters. This is like A-Game's
Green line confirmed.
got two LAVs as his entire force. Oblivinator's got two LAVs as his entire force. I guess two
Hostile
more
forces
back
have
home.
recovered an artifact.
That artifact will get in. That base runner will be a little
Light attack
wounded.
vehicle is under
This
fire.
base runner is going back for more, and here come the strike fighters.
Coordinates confirmed.
So I want to see what he hits first, because there's not much to hit here really, except for resourcing. Maybe finishing off the base runner if you really wanted to. I'm not sure how much value that provides,
Green line
especially
confirmed.
since he's just grabbed that
Send your
last
message.
artifact.
Enemy turret detected.
So it looks like he is going for
Be
the
advised.
resourcing,
Hostile
which is the right
carrier
idea.
detected. Move order confirmed.
And this might just be a really
Interceptor taking
brutal
hostile
first and last fight. 5 strike fighters here. I believe that's enough to take out a support cruiser. He's prioritizing down the support cruiser. He's not going to be touching any of the collectors, and the AoE looks like isn't even going to
Be advised.
bring any of them
Enemy
down.
Support vehicle authenticated.
So that's 600 CU down the drain for Oblivinator. Maybe a few more. Ooh, a few more shots here to take out
Battle
collectors.
report.
Maybe.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
Looks like they were split a bit too much to actually take one out.
Copy. Returning to carrier.
Yeah, those
Copy.
will live.
Coordinates set.
And these LEVs here are doing a little bit of AA,
Rally point set. Move to
but
location.
not enough. They weren't really massed enough to do that. And now we have AAVs
Copy.
coming out
Returning to carrier.
for A-Game. And so far this turret has really done nothing. I don't know if A-Game even really noticed it. Oblivinator had a nice turret there. It was a really good thought. If any kind of LEVs came through here, or AAVs even, they would suffer some serious damage. But it looks like,
Fleet logistics module out.
so far, a well-placed turret that isn't going to accomplish much.
Proceed to rally point.
This is going to hurt Oblivinator's resourcing for sure. A-Game here is solidly on 3 bases. Oblivinator is kind of weakly on, solidly on 1 and weakly on 2, including his main resource pocket here. He's going to restore that to order
Salvager
in just a
online.
moment there.
Strike fighter coordinates.
But I wonder what the tech here is going to be. It looks like we have a railgun coming out for Oblivinator, and that's really hazardous for him, because
Copy. On our way.
these fighters are coming right back out again. And they haven't scouted this yet, but they're about to.
Designated. Trackers
A-Game is going to take out this turret, which is a great idea. That would do a lot of damage to these AAVs.
We've taken out an enemy turret. Coordinates. Unidentified craft on approach.
And it looks like he's just going to kind of hang
Realize
back
an
and
artifact.
strike
Viable
surgically,
out.
which I can't blame him for.
New heading set.
Light attack vehicle in service.
Another turret post here from Oblivinator. Actually in a decent spot again. Pretty good survey of that local base area.
Light attack vehicle.
But it's just going to be
online.
taken out as well by these fighters.
To recover the artifact.
Or actually, they switched targets, so they switched to the resourcing. And there is a missile battery out here from Oblivinator, and that's really good for him. There's also an anti-air turret post. So, some anti-air coming up. I'm not sure
Support
that it
cruiser now operational.
Copy.
wins
On
the
way.
game, because A-Game is so high on resourcing, because A-Game has these AAVs. But this definitely starts to change the situation here, that there's this anti-air turret post, and that this turret post is still alive, and Oblivinator lost
Light attack
a
vehicle
salvager
online.
in exchange
Artifact
for that.
ignition authenticated.
For displacement.
If we take a look at the units lost, Oblivinator looks like, yeah, lost 2 salvagers, or an LEV and a salvager, or something like that, in addition to
Light
the
attack
support
vehicle
cruiser.
in service.
On our way.
So certainly not
On our
great,
way.
definitely not as good as A-Game. 0 losses here, but also not tragic.
Light attack vehicle online.
Probably the bigger loss here is just that
Move order confirmed.
this base has never had a
Location
support
marked.
cruiser. This base didn't have
Light
it for a
attack
little
vehicle
while.
in service.
And this is a lot of LAVs. 16 LAVs here. And we can see A-Game's research. He does have
We've detected
LAV armor. He does not have damage or the assault pack
Taking effective
yet.
fire. Green line confirmed.
They're going to sort of flirt around
Strike
here.
fighter coordinates
Oblivinator's going to grab an
now
artifact.
operational.
Attack course set.
Artifact
And these railguns are just going to kind of shoot into
confirmed.
the LAV nothing here. Not going to get any hits. And the strike fighters are coming out. Another AAV here, very nice position, is going to start harassing these salvagers here. The LAVs here are going to start closing in. And I'm really worried about these railguns. AAV here is going to help, but one AAV is not going to do a whole lot against 15 LAVs. A lot of the, or sorry, LAVs. A lot of these LAVs here from Oblivinator are going to go down, and A-Game's carrier rolling in to provide even more fire support. Another turret post here, actually, going to go down so quickly, probably before it got any shots off. And now these railguns and these missile batteries are very exposed, both to these railguns here and to the LAVs here. This resource point still mining, but probably going to go down. This turret not going to do much to a carrier, and will be taken out by the railguns. So it's an unfortunate game. I feel like Oblivinator had a lot of decent plays and just didn't count on the hard air push from the get-go. Before getting any other tech, A-Game went straight into air and then just sort of massed from there with all of that momentum. And now this is really, these railguns and missile batteries were cleaned up. Oblivinator will get another artifact, just barely with that health bar there. A-Game, meanwhile, will have more. And Oblivinator now has a carrier. This is a one-man army against a large number of railguns. So we're about to see the end of game 1 here. Interesting play there from A-Game. Kind of feels a little cheesy to me. But definitely valid play.
Battle report. Hostile carrier has been destroyed. Hostile forces.
And just to be clear, this was not expected to be an even match. This is not a fair matchup by any means. Oblivinator being much newer in playing multiplayer these days, or maybe I shouldn't say newer, but he plays much less frequently than a lot of the other people that we see in the Artifact Cup, and A-Game being a very experienced player. So that's reflected here in the stats. It's reflected here in what we saw in that game. Our next game is on Galcian territories, which is a bit a bit larger than the Shallows, and I'm hoping that this one might surprise us a little more as well. This map has a neat incline. The entire map is sort of on this big slope, and there's an uphill and a downhill approach to both player positions, and both players sort of want to hook around on that uphill side, and then there's the downhill side that's sort of vulnerable, and there's extraction zones on both sides. So here we see A-Game playing as Galcian this time, so that says to me A-Game probably played this round as random. And he's going to go ahead and he's going to start on CUs, he's going to send out a probe here, and then, a scanner, and then retire his base force. So he's going for pretty early CUs, which tells me he may be going for a double production cruiser rush, or maybe his single production cruiser rush. We'll see.
Set charges right there.
Look at production here to make sure I don't miss anything here. He's also going to go for this second point here, probably going for CUs. Oblivinator, meanwhile, going to send out a probe and not retire his base runner, and he's going to be opening also with CUs, but then into RU, so he wants to be getting tech pretty quickly, it looks like, of some kind. Or maybe he opened with the... I'm expecting, because this came out around that away and then started mining the RUs, that he started mining the CUs first.
Rally position designated.
Nobody really going to see anything so far. Another production cruiser coming out for AGameAnx, so this is looking like it's going to be a double production cruiser rush.
Underway. Targeting CU field. Acknowledge.
Another couple RU salvagers here. I like to point out the RU salvagers. I think A-Game at one point mentioned to Magpie, who casts a lot of games, that that's something to look at during the beginning. I'm trying to look at that during the beginning. And you can kind of predict what people are going to do on the basis of their salvagers. Unfortunately, it's very hard to get scouting early enough to spot that, but I guess if you're really fast on the UAV, you might be able to do it. LAV's coming out from Oblivinator, which is good. It's preventative. Depending on what units A-Game decides to rush for. We can see A-Game's tech, and he has not made... Oh, excuse me. No, sorry, he has not made a tech choice yet. I thought he might have gone for air, but that requires the assault ship fab here.
Acknowledge.
And I'm guessing he will go for
fleet at maximum capacity.
Assault ships fairly quick, although he may also go for assault railguns. Oblivinator are going to get some scouting out early, which is good, although he did not take very good advantage of this probe, I think. He used this very defensively to just sort of make sure nobody would see... nobody would sneak in here. But he didn't use this to figure out what's going on here with A-Game. A-Game here is like hiding his production cruiser, I'm guessing, to try and make it so that Oblivinator can't scout him, but ultimately it's not even going to matter. A-Game could have run his production cruiser, I guess, like up here, and it probably would have been hidden still.
Scanlock established. Tracking targets.
Some scouts going to find each other.
Course set. Light attack vehicle rendering complete. Moving to destination.
And A-Game Scout's going to be kind of pushed back, but not a big deal. He's going to add more mass here soon. Not much really going on still. Another turret here coming up from... I shouldn't say another, but this game, we're going to have turrets here from Oblivinator. And this is a really nice spot, I think. if we look at this, he is sort of on a downhill, but he managed to put it on this little mound so that it can still sort of hit a lot. I like that.
Railgun capacity.
I don't know how much it's going to help.
Commander.
A-Game is going to descend here on these LAVs now that he's masked up sand skimmers, and that's going to be very effective. He doesn't have armor upgrades yet. Neither does Oblivinator.
Hostile strike craft destroyed.
Coordinates verified.
But with that mask, the production cruisers are also going to move out, and this is going to start looking pretty bad for Oblivinator. He's taking losses here. He's not really making up for them. This sand skimmer is going to retreat and get repaired. We do have an armored assault vehicle coming out, which is going to do a great job with these sand skimmers if it can get down in there in time. Unfortunately, it's going to meet heavy railguns and assault railguns, so A-Game has gone for that railgun tech.
Sand skimmer moving out.
And I don't know if that turret post is close enough. You know, if sand skimmers got in here, that turret might do something. So let's see if that happens here.
Verified. Heavy railgun online.
It looks like that base runner might have been up here to try and place a turret as well. I think this turret is just a bit too far back. Maybe if it was here on that lip, it might have been more effective. Or maybe with that mound over there. You can see that the map is sloped in this very odd way. Especially when we
established. Commence breakdown. Monitor
it's a lot easier with the regular monitor. So
operator, new course.
with the topographic overlay when you're trying to
Course
move.
verified. Course heavy railgun online.
So A-Game just going to sort of mass here.
Railgun active.
He's happy to wait for all of the heavy railguns he can get. Oblivinator is still just pumping out armored assault vehicles, and it looks like light assault vehicles as well.
Sand skimmer under fire.
Railguns are going to shoot in here. Nice smoke.
Acknowledge.
A strike craft has been destroyed.
And Oblivinator is sort of somehow
Defense alert. Production
keeping everything from just running in here, but I think that's because A-Game is really happy to wait. These AAVs coming out is nice. He's going to be able to use smoke to save his support crews just a little bit longer, and he is going to be able to add some more units to the mix. If he can get the jump on here, he might be able to take out this one assault railgun. These are all heavy railguns otherwise, which are not going to be very good at hitting AVs. Sand skimmers are going to come in and deal with that probably pretty soon, but he is going to almost... Oh, he's going to keep running for it, which I think... Oh, no. Okay, so he's going to get a heavy railgun here. If he finishes this off... yeah, he didn't finish that off, so that's unfortunate. Production cruiser here took a lot of damage, and I missed that. I believe that was probably from this turret here. Which is under the support cruiser. This is nice, because this turret here is going to be repaired even if it gets hit by railguns a little bit. The support cruiser here is going to repair that, and it is doing some pretty good damage to this production cruiser and this production cruiser. This railgun's repaired, so it's too bad he didn't take that one out. But so far, a nice defense here from Oblivinator, especially compared to last game, where he was sort of just surprised by that unit choice, and I don't blame him for that. This turret now from the back going to do some good damage on the sand skimmers. They are going to retreat. I think this is a little too far back to do too much. Railguns here for Oblivinator, going to start firing in here, but they're going to be outmatched. And yeah, you don't want to be fighting this many railguns head-on. I think the LEVs were the right idea, using AAVs to handle these sand skimmers, but this is a battle that is going on a little too long for the Oblivinator, and his turrets, it looks like, have all been taken out, which is too bad. Those were good static defenses for a while he could hold on to them. I think, you know, with some LAVs maybe scaring off the railguns, he would have been able to defend that point a little bit longer.
Contact detection. Require visual confirmation.
At this point, with the support cruiser gone, and this resource point very much exposed, I think this is a matter of time. And I think Oblivinator realizes that, so he's going to just run his carrier into the mix and eat up all those shots.
Defense alert. Cruiser has been engaged.
Notably, there is a base runner here,
Invasion strike down.
but there was no artifact capturing, because pretty early on, the sand skimmers from AGameAnx gained map control.
Railgun under fire.
Missile ship here is a preemptive choice, but maybe not what I would expect.
Defense
I think
alert.
it makes sense.
Enemy armor inbound.
And that's going to be game 2.
By Sir Duke's will, a heretic carrier has been...
So I thought that was neat. I thought it was great to see Oblivinator play. I hadn't seen him play a game before, actually. So I still owe him a race through the single-player campaign. And I thought it was very interesting that he used turrets defensively because I think in single player that is much more common. The turret's a little different. They shoot like these burst shots that do a little bit more AoE damage, I think. And he had some good turret placement. It didn't work out in the first game because of the overwhelming air coverage that was there from AGameAnx, and it didn't fail in the second game by any means. It did a pretty good job, I think. Had he been able to just finish off that production cruiser that was wounded, that would have shifted things a little more in his favor. He might have been able to hold out a little longer, get a few lucky railgun kills, and then that second, that lone production cruiser might not be able to recover quickly enough. So that would have been really interesting to see. He came very close to that kind of a play. It didn't quite work out, but that's okay. I'm sure we'll see more from Oblivinator again, and I'm certainly looking forward to it. I'm going to start up another replay in a minute, but I'm going to do that on another video. So for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.